Muigai.
Yo.
How are you, my guy, you guy?
Austin. I'm good. How about you, man?
I'm great, man. How are you doing? I can see the God Papa is home.
Man, nilibaiwa na mama. Unajua alikuwa anasema tunaenda Mugithi. So nangoja bado.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. How was your week?
My week was fine. Just trying to stay alive and not shed more tears. It's crazy.
Why would you be shedding tears? Because it's been a sad week or a good week?
It's been sad and mi kama kawaida ladies usually wananifanyia ile kitu but sasa natafuta dawa. There's something I'm looking for. Hii wiki inakuja I will not shed tears. I will not shed tears for anyone from that gender. No. Even from this one.
Okay, but make sure you don't get smacked, because sometimes when you are at the Oscars, you will be smacked like The Rock.
but by the way, Kenya alifanya, I feel it was not right. What do you think?
Well, right and wrong always depend on the person executing the slap, if that's what I will call it. Because you remember the Kidero function? Sometimes you just need to slap some stuff out of people for them to function. And that's why tonight we will be discussing, I will catch a grenade for you. What if you just have to slap some people or take sides when your spouse is involved in a scuffle? In the public domain, will you take their side or you will defend them and be their shield and defender even when men decide they can't keep their mouth shut?
I will not say alafu tuende. Yo, hello guys, karibuni sana. Welcome. This is the great show you've ever seen, you've ever had. Naona nimepiga look yangu pale safi Nike na kofia ya mbaba. So, kuhusu hiyo story yenye umesema Eli. This is what I think. Whatever Will Smith did is not right. Now, what I would do if I was Will Smith, ningeinua tu mkono niseme, excuse me Chris Rock, next time please do not make jokes about my spouse or anything, because Kenya alifanya na feel ilikuwa weak. Wewe msee ni weak, man.
This guy is weak.
The guy is weak, hata kama najua mfuko yake ni strong. Mfuko yake ni strong, yes, but emotionally he is weak, because he would have done better, man. He would have done
better. Okay, great. Let us know in the comment section. And you know what? This show cannot get started unless we have our own legal mind in the show. We'll start the show and invite your friends and family. Share this link. Let's have this discussion. This is Art in Heart.
Welcome to Elimishwe kwa maswala ya jamii. Tuchunguze sana mbalimbali, tujuze juu ya matukio ya kila pembe, kwa burudani kwa familia nzima.
Oh yes, and the team is here. Sonie, Gicheru looking all fly. Hi, Sonie.
Hi. I'm not in
my bedroom. Hi, Godwin.
Chani malizie. I hope you guys are good.
We are awesome. How are you, Godwin?
I'm fine, Ellie. How are you guys doing?
We are great. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Been a busy week, but I thank God maona tena you guys are looking awesome.
Na kwa nini umevaa bota kama nani?
Umetoka wapi?
Kama
nimetoka Oscars mazee.
You know what, Austin, tukaribisha wase wamefika, alafu tuanze hii story. Naona Idel kwa yu tayari anauliza, stop joking, unanikasirisha Austin, are you married? Amekasirika yule kofia mubaba.
I'm not
Gerard
married. By the way.
Mudavadi,
I'm very single.
And searching.
Yeah, you know.
unakasirisha Sonie, but ni sawa. Gerard Mudavadi, karibu sana. Sasa, how are you? So tuned in, twende nalo. Princess Ola, Henry Obimichael Omulai anasema he. Sijui amehehe nini. Alafu tuko na Isaiah Mbata said tuned in. Karibu sana. Welcome to the show. This week has been a buzz of activities. We want to start first of all with how it went down the streets of the news. The first impression I had was people who speak strange languages. And in this case, I'm talking about Sheng. How good is your Sheng, Sonie?
Mini mrazi, ngumi ni
Mention tu zile majina mbili unajua.
Mimi najua hii lugha. Sheng should be made formal or something. Itumike hadi ifunzwe hadi shule. You know, inaletanga some sense of unity, Mna feel kama a family. It's an intimate language.
Unaelewa Mbogigenje? Who understands? If you do not understand songs za Mbogigenje, you do not know Sheng. Tuanze hapo. If you do not understand Mbogigenje, even 3 sentences, where ujui Sheng, there's nothing you know. Do you understand Mbogigenje, Eli?
I think that is that strange genre of music that was done away with. I of course I know Miracle Baby, right?
Yeah.
Wazito wa Sheng. I know Ambusi there.
Yeah. By the way, yeah. They get already.
Why we actually talking about this, guys? The other day, and unfortunately we are not in time to get that clip. There is this funny comedian that apparently decided how wako na njia ya kuongea, and they were in court and presenting themselves in a case. But most of the time, when you go to our national office, we expect you to talk in a national language. Is it time we actually adopted Sheng and made it an official language? Because vile inatumika imezidi. Austin?
Yeah, we should make Sheng a national language, because I believe Sheng...
It is national lingua, but I'm talking about it being official.
Yeah. It should be made official. Kwa sababu, you find these days that hata sahi ni tunajipata tu tumeongea Sheng, like right now tunajipata tu nimesema kitu fulani ya Sheng. Unaona, it has become a normal way of communicating. So it should be also made an official language so that people can be able to express them. Unajua there's a way, yani hiyo nini unaweza express vizuri. Unajua kuna hizi nini zingine hii English kidogo English inafanyanga. Unajua English tunasema ilikuja na nini? Inakuslap kuliko hata we speak.
Na kwanza hata ukiona currently generation yenye tuko, unaona hadi ma politicians, ma billboards wameandika pale sisi hatupangwingwi, sawa kwa wote, mama miradi,
It should be made a national language.
Yes, it should be made like a national language.
Let me disagree with you guys, huh?
Why?
One reason why Sheng cannot be made a formal language in Kenya, it's because of how fast it evolves and how varied it is from one place to the other. You understand? I can tell you for a fact, Austin, we can start talking with you here, Sheng, but I understand different type of Sheng, understand different type of Sheng. So there are words mean vitu you don't understand, and there are things you'll say I don't understand, because what is Sheng in the first place? Sheng is just a blend of vernacular languages with some English and Swahili, and then and it depends with the certain, it fits certain groups. So if you try to make it formal, you'll go in an office, the Sheng you think that person understands, they don't understand, But what I just saying is, we can use Sheng as a tool to reach out to youth or that specific group speaking that language, that particular language, because you'll find Sheng ya Kayole, Sheng ya Umoja, they differ, and that's why, if you remember, there was a conflict between Mbogigenje and Akina Madocho, history ngumi mbwegze and ngumi ni German and the like, you know. So it's different. So before you understand that, how many languages, how many types of Sheng will you have to learn for you to communicate effectively? So I think we should embrace it because it's part of us. It's become part of our heritage, but not to make it a formal language.
Godwin, what if, do you think that if maybe because you're saying it differs, yes, and I agree it differs, but if we taught it in schools, like we have like tukue hata na hizo tukue na syllabus yani ya Sheng, yani ifunzwe venye when I communicate, you can be able to understand me, you can be able to understand someone in Kayole, Githurai, whatever, Kajiado. Kutakuwa na standard, kutakuwa na standardization ya the language.
And that's where my point comes in, Austin. You know, Sheng evolves day in, day out. It's not like English and Swahili, which is somehow constant. Just when it changes, maybe a few words, maybe when circumstances persist, you know. But with Sheng, the words you use today, tomorrow they're no longer there. Although there are a few words that were used since back then till now, but the way Sheng is evolving, it will be difficult for you to keep up in terms of syllabus. You know, it will be too costly to keep changing every now and then.
Well, hey, lakini I still think there's a way we can do it. I don't know. Okay, even if it evolve.
If anything, if you'd ask me, I would encourage for our syllabus, for vernacular languages or our mother tongues to be reintroduced in our syllabus, you know, because that's one of the heritage that we are losing. So that Sheng can be there just for communication, but let's not lose our culture, because nowadays you go in a school and you speak your mother tongue, you're like, people are looking at you like, what are you saying? Like, you know, you look like an outcast, but in real sense, that's our language. And I'll give an example. There are countries out there that don't even use English. They use their language in doing everything from syllabus. And I would like to appreciate, like Tanzania, at least, although they use English, but you know, all the syllabus, majority of the stuff they do, it's in Swahili, you know. And then we should embrace our mother tongues as opposed to maybe Sheng, because Sheng evolves faster. You know, our mother tongue is there. It's been there since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a great conversation right there. And if you're joining us, kindly do share the conversation with us. We are seeing people there on YouTube. Maze Team YouTube, thank you so much for holding us strong. Idel Kweyu Music. This mama has story. If you missed her story, head on to her YouTube channel and you'll find it out. Atakwambia kuhusu story ya 64 bob inatoka kwa how watu wanalipanga watu royalties. We have Jakita who says, you are right, Godwin. It's like that expression, Allah. Okay. Guys, 7 years ago, that word was not existing. Okay. Anatuambia hapa, the background is amazing. Maze, we are always smoking hot. Thank you so much, Joan Kulabi, for joining us in the conversation section. Joan, wewe ni mtu wangu wa comments. So make sure the comments is boiling there. Hiyo ndio kazi tumekuandika leo Johnny. Paul M Senior says locked up from Mapengo Muhuyu area in Lugari. Thank you so much Paul for joining the conversation. Wewe ni ule mse. Lawrence Mwiti Waweru anasema just like Will Smith. And that story actually, it is our main event story. So stay tuned, because in the second half part of this discussion, we will be bringing the conversation around catching the grenade for you. Let's see. And of course, I see Jerry Rafiki say TZ do Pythagoras in Kiswahili.
Pythagoras.
You know what we're talking about? It's not that easy. And in case you guys don't have an idea what you're talking about, take a look and tell me, how would this language make it to the political, rather not political office, because kuzi wa pangwingwi, but let's say the public offices.
And aje mzimbiting. Fitting. Anasemaje? Nikiambia Imbwenya, mimi nilikuwa kigonyi wa Senke. Sawa? Alafu Ondiekde ndiye anakuanga Sagara wa Misimi. Naweza kwa nimewatupanisha.
Wewe. Wacha mambo ya stupid. Umeelewa ni nini anasema?
Stupid. No, bila anasema ni kweli. Huyo anasema Sagara kwa wapi?
almost thought
Austin.
that is Savara. But it's okay.
Austin.
Wait, here kwa comment about
Yeah,
Malaysia.
Godwin.
Have you understood anything? Just for clarification.
You say it differs. Sheng ya Kayole. I did not.
Mimi sikushika
Thank you.
hata.
I rest my case.
Awesome,
But I can tell from
awesome.
the mood.
Awesome. Sonie, the other day you went to this village close to your village and you told me magari ilikuwa imegwama. Nini zimegwamana huko? What is happening?
Mafuta imekosekana.
What?
Magari, pikipiki zinapanga line.
Kwa petrol station?
Kwa petrol station. Petrol station unapata ni moja ndio ina function, zingine zimefungwa hazina mafuta. Hiyo moja pekee nayo ina high prices, unapata per liter 140.
What? Ama nimesina gari, I don't know these things.
No, wewe ni msa kupewa lift, hatuwezi kusaidia.
Wewe ni msafutubishi, so wewe osha mbona na tuendelee na kazi.
Subaru.
But actually, anyway, guys are saying this could be related to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war effect. But other pundits argue otherwise because there is subsidies that government is supposed to give towards making the consumer able to afford this, and it has been doing that for the last 4 months. Ideally, that was supposed to help cushion the consumer. For example, leo tukinwa mafuta, when you're importing, let's say it's $5 in the barrel extra, and then the salespeople have to sell it at $3. The government had to compensate for the $2. Sasa somebody is asking, ama ni kwa sababu kimeumana huko Ukraine? Could be the case, I don't know, but let's take a look at what NTV reported on this.
4 months now, the government has been subsidizing the price of petroleum products in a bid to cushion the consumer as the price of oil in the global market rises. In the latest pump price review, the government bumped upwards the price of super petrol and diesel by 5 shillings a litre, the first upward review in 4 months, and an indication that reserves for the subsidy were likely to be under strain. With the price of oil pushed upward by the strife between Russia and Ukraine, it looks like the government is running out of the subsidy safety net and consumers have to fend for themselves.
When what country are we living in?
A country that doesn't have its own oil, but has some oil in Turkana that is exporting. I don't know what Godwin has to say about this. Godwin?
I'd look at this issue from a different perspective. As much as we understand there's a correlation between what is happening in Ukraine and with the current shortage, because we don't import oil directly from Ukraine. We import, Netherlands is one of our, where we import or our exporter. And Russia is the leading exporter of oil to Netherlands. So by association, we're likely to be affected. But on the flip side, I think as much as I want to associate the same with the war in Ukraine, the rise in fuel is not something that has started today. So we cannot blame it entirely on Ukraine, because it's something that has been happening. We've been complaining every now and then. So for me, I look at it as just an excuse to cushion why fuel prices are rising. As much as we understand, but it should be that, like in Kenya, it's only in Kenya where things, the first day the war started in Ukraine, the following day, gas prices are up, fuel prices are up. It's like we are just waiting for the war to start for prices to go up. Even the subsidy issue, I still feel it's just propaganda. But
okay,
that's my opinion.
Na umeongelea story ya gas, nikakumbuka Sonie aliuza gas yake. Sonie, have you been feeling the pinch of Ukraine and Russia actually? But let me bring it home. You know that we import a lot of wheat from these countries, right? And the price of bread is skyrocketing here in Europe, of course. And I'm told we are also suffering because we import our sunflower oil from Ukraine, and now the taps are closed. In Nairobi, the cost of living is skyrocketing every single day. To those who have no idea, actually in 2020, Netherlands imported a whopping 32.1 billion in crude oil petroleum, becoming the 6th largest importer of crude petroleum in the world. At the same year, crude oil petrol was the first most important product in Netherlands, if I want to get that right, and therefore made it, Russia was exporting $9.26 billion, whereas United Kingdom was doing this at $6.95 billion. United States imported the same at $4.12 billion. Norway, that is $2.95 billion. And Kazakhstan, that was $2.55 billion. Did you know that? Kenya,
Where?
we import our oil. From what country, Godwin?
From Netherlands,
Netherlands.
Saudi Arabia, you know. And then, funny enough, as much as we're facing shortage, I don't know if you understand, we are still exporting oil. We export oil to Uganda, if you didn't know.
How we export tunaimport alafu tunaexport ama
actually it's the business world, you know. It doesn't mean just because you're importing you can't export. Even Netherlands export to Kenya and they still import from Russia. The same way we import from UAE and Netherlands. We also
well, let me tell you a twist of this before Austin comes in. Did you know that this same oil that goes to Uganda, some riders were leaving Western Kenyan area to head to Uganda to buy fuel at a cheaper price?
Funny, what's going on?
And you know, remember, Uganda is a landlocked country, so it depends entirely on Kenya to get its imports. You know, because on Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania, these are the countries that have seaports. You know, but again, you wonder how practical it is for fuel to be cheap in Uganda that imports from us. You know, it's just ironical. So it's a paradox in Kenya.
And I think Kenya we have oil in Turkana. Ama hiyo ni ilikuwa mafuta ya kujipaka ama ni ya nini?
We export arimis from Turkana.
Okay. that is for you to decide. That is for you to decide. But on a sad note though, of course it has some light at it. All of you guys have heard about Baby David's story, and if you haven't, it has been a really, really sad story. I hope we can find ways to console this mother, but let's take a listen in.
Mtoto amekaa Thursday, aliona mtoto wao akiuliwa hivi na macho na hajasema na hajaambia mtu. This caretaker mwenyewe alimwambia ende aoshe damu. Aoshe damu. Hiyo Thursday alimwambia aoshe damu. Juu si wameua mtoto. Damu ilimwagika. Na Peter ameambiwa arudisha ufungu kule. Juu huyu Njeri wamekava mtoto, wametoka na yeye. Akamwambia Tita, wacha kuchapa Devi. Boyfriend alirukia Peter. Akaanza kuchapa Peter, akamchapa. Na Njeri anainua Devi juu akimgongesha. Devi zile vidonda alikuwa amechomwa, alikuwa na chapo zikimwagika damu. Devi akaona Devi ameanguka chini, damu imejichola sana. Ati Devi alianza kushake. Tita alichukua pipe akaingiza mwiko, akamugonga tu kichwa. Na hapo ndipo Devi alipokufa.
So sad. So sad, man.
Watu wengine hawana roho.
Yeah, roho. Hey, I hope that guy is in prison. I just hope so.
Actually, the good news is they have been arrested, and thanks to Wanjiku tells, that is courtesy of Lynn Gugi and the friend that did that. That's an amazing job you did for Davy's, justice and to that mother. But the sad story is actually that lady was a friend to Mama David, and she was a teacher. Rather, she is a teacher. What would you do if the very person that is supposed to protect you did that?
Well, it's crazy. I'm even wondering, where would you even beat up a child like that? Hata akuwe amefanya nini? Hata akuwe amepasua simu, akuwe amepasua hata TV, akuwe amefanya nini? You shouldn't like hi-fi. Your story, man.
No. Listen, there's some things, I'm a lawyer, but at times the things you feel, even arresting someone, I don't know, sentencing them for life is not enough justice, because the pain a parent goes through, nothing will ever
bring back
life. Whether you tell them you arrested them, you did what they paid, I don't know how much money. That is, the torture that kid went through, it's uncalled for.
Yeah.
And you wonder why a normal human being will do that to someone's kid. It's so sad.
The irony of this is the mother actually left to go to Saudi Arabia to also be a domestic helper and help, fend for these children and try just to make a living for these children.
Wow.
And this is the phone call you receive and get to learn that your child was literally murdered. There is nothing that can ever repair that damage. The much we can say is we pray and hope the justice will be served, and when it's done, she will actually find it in her heart to have peace. In the meantime, I just want to shout out Elizabeth Hormann, that is Frau Elizabeth, all the way in Germany, who has taken an initiative thanks to that and says #justice for AB, and formed a WhatsApp group in diaspora. If you're in that in diaspora, you can actually join in or request to join in by asking for a link in the comment section. And this WhatsApp group is going to help raise money that will be giving to Abby in order for her to be able to pursue justice and pay for the cost, because it's very costly to afford great defense as you go to court to pursue justice. Still staying in Saudi Arabia, you guys might have witnessed or come across a clip of a lady that was working in Saudi Arabia in a vegetative condition. And this clip was shot by the employer, allegedly. What do you make of that in Saudi Arabia?
What happens in? I think we should have like sijui kama tuko na embassy in Saudi Arabia, ama I don't know what happens there, because I've heard a lot of stories from Saudi Arabia, and I think like these things should stop. Maze, like hatufai kuwa tunashinda tukicomplain, because these guys, when they come to our countries, we do not harass them. We are very good to them. We do not even hatunanga mambo ya racism, unaona? But why is it that tukienda kwao ndio wanatufanyia vitu kama hizo? Tunafaa bedhe tukae chini tujue ni nini inafanyika huko, tuseme sasa tutafanya hivi.
But also Kenyans have to be very careful na agencies zenye zinawapeleka job huko. Like unakuwa precise on una contract kidraft, unakuwa keen on details. Unaenda kufanya job gani? What type of job? Unalipwa nini? Utakuwa unakula wapi? Una movement, kila kitu.
But I guess you hatuwezi nini, because unajua ukishafika huko I don't think unaweza rudi hivyo haraka, na tena sidhani ulikuwa umejipanga maybe kipesa.
Actually let's just say I would love it's such a shame that Joy is not here, because Joy has first-hand information about that region, and I hope next week she'll be able to come here and we might just discuss about this. Out of time, Godwin, I seek us to have a lighter moment though. The politics of the seat are taking center stage. And if you thought pombe ni maji, one Franklin Mitkalinturi discovered it's not such maji as they say. Apparently, Mr. Politician found himself in somebody's room with somebody's wife trying to chew on that bone.
You know, the
Mama,
forbidden fruit.
ungekuwa ungefanya je?
Let me
Godwin.
tell you, Ellie.
Yes.
I'd want to pity him, but again, this guy has been in the news for all wrong reasons. This is not the first time in this within the same line, you know, from the first incident of him divorcing with the wife, and then he was allegedly caught in another I don't know, was it in Limuru, where with another in another lodging. So again, this one, then you blame it on alcohol. No, that's a choice. That's a choice.
So in short, Buddha, in short, what you're saying is, Mr. Franklin Lituri, hata wacha nisimwite honorable because there's no honor in it anymore. Ni mwizi ambaye amezoea. This is like a rapist. There are always high chances of them being a repeat offender.
Let me tell you, Ellie, one thing. I can't take it from a point of being a rapist, because remember, we are in a political season, and people will do anything to bring your name in bad light, So what he's just doing, he's being careless, because he's an adult anyway. We cannot control or dictate what he's going to do. He might decide to have his free time, but just be careful, because this is a political season and everyone is looking for something, and you have political opponents. So that is just being careless. You might find even maybe the person or the room that he was in, maybe the lady that was there, actually they went in together, but now because he knows he's in the public, so the only thing that can save himself is blaming it on alcohol. Just be careful.
Blame it on alcohol. And I believe that's where we leave it for now in the political scene, because I don't want to mention the stories we've had about Sofapaka boss, because we have no idea if they are factual or not. Hey, Mr. Politicians, the things you will show us. But BBI was put to rest. Finally, reggae has been buried.
Finally, I don't know how I feel about it, but I feel like it's a good thing that the judiciary is not haijakuwa compromised na kutishiwa, even if inasapotiwa na nani, and I feel that's the way to go for the judiciary to stand up and inaitangwa aje wenye wanajua Kizungu,
the rule of law.
So I feel like wamefanya fiti sana. I feel so good, yani na feel ni kama we are starting to head in the right direction now, apart from the politicians.
Let's head in the right direction. Austin, of course, we have here a man, lawyer himself, Godwin Segero, Sonie Gicheru, and you're watching The Perspective. Now we're going to part 2, where it's going to be fireworks. We'll return after the break.
The day you will lose your job, they'll tell you now I'm the head because I supply everything. Is leadership or being the head an economical power? Those are some of the most important questions this year we'll be asking ourselves.
Yep.
Because if you think a lion is a cow, your thought process does not matter, you shall be destroyed.
Okay.
Bishop!
So would you catch that grenade for him or her? There's one man who literally did that. Do you know the Oscars? This is how it went down before. It was so funny until it not became funny.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yes, he did. He smacked the shit out him. Godwin, that guy catch the grenade for the baby boy, rather the baby girl.
Baby girl.
Would you do that?
Exactly.
Austin?
That for me, hata kama Godwin, you look like Will Smith.
Exactly.
Even the whatever. Sijui kama, I don't know if you have a crush on him, but that guy,
Did that guy, say that?
he did a very, that was the most stupid decision I've ever seen a man make. Because one, I believe, ukianza kufanya vitu kama hizo, hata mtaanza kuzoeana na bibi yako vibaya. You should, and this guy should remember what he has been, venye amefanyiwa, venye ametendwa. I don't know, there's this guy, August, I don't know. I don't want to bring that story up, maybe he's watching, and I don't want him to get emotional. I know how it feels, you know. But anyway, Kenya alifanya kitu ya ujinga. Angesimama tu aseme, hey, we Chris Rock, next time please do not let my not bring my wife into your jokes. Because mi nikikumbuka venye niliona hiyo clip vizuri, the guy was laughing. The guy was laughing at the joke until akaona bibi yake ameroll match, sio anafanyanga ajinjini, akaona imefanyika hivyo. And that's where Andrew Kibe sasa anafaa kuleta hizo whips hizo za because that guy, you should not, any man who is watching, you should not do whatever Will Smith did. Ni afadhali utoke na bibi yako nje uende ukamwambie please, najua amekukosea.
The wife in this case was being humiliated in public arena.
Before we proceed, let me ask you, Austin. Do you know this? That was not the first time Chris Rock was doing that to the same victim. It was not the first time. Go and check the history. There's another time Chris Rock did the same. So it means and you need such actions for you to pass a message that you can no longer be doing this. You know, because if it was the first time and maybe it was just on a note, and then if you can look at the clip, see it was Will Smith reacted from the first instance. You know, it was not amusing, and then Chris Rock insisted, you know, to force people to laugh, and then that's how the lady was offended. So when Smith looked at the wife and he was like, no, this is too much, you know, and that's why he had to go on the stage and do what he had to do. You know, he'd be criticized, you know, you are a public figure and all that. It was an Oscars, you're not supposed to do that, but at times you have to take, it's not good to take law in the hands, but it's just good to pass a message.
So here indeed you are just disciplined on the spot, as Idenkweyu says. I mean, let's make this a bit engaging. Ladies and gentlemen that are watching tonight, how far would you go to defend and protect your spouse when they get humiliated in public space? Godi, we've gone to the villages, and at this point I want to bring back Sonie, because she might be an affected member of this gender. Sonie, at one point or another, when people are dating, we take them home so that you can see family and all that. The first thing they do is when you arrive in that family, they ask you where you are from, right? After that, they want to know how big or small your family is. And then kama ulisoma ama hukusoma. And then, if you can cook. Have you ever been asked, kwani wewe hujui kupika? Haukufunzwa kupika?
Kai, inakuanga some very traumatic. Tasema traumatic. Okay, sija experience vizuri, but I've had stories. Like, a chick goes to the in-laws and anajajiwa just because ameweka kucha. Okay, ni poa all glammed up and all. Sa akashindwa kufanya some few stuff and here and there. Si ati hajui kufanya. Ni hiyo time too maybe. And then you're judged wrongly. And then nani, your boyfriend ama your hubby anaambiwa huyu sasa umetuletea nani hapa?
Ni ukweli. You cannot have hizo nini, and then sasa bwana wako atapikiwa na nani?
Kwani kila time
akipikiwa na house help, jua kuna kitu house help atampatia pia ingine. You guys should know that.
Austin, that's okay. But when the family then decide to gang up, you know, there are situations, I'll give you an example. There are situations you go to visit, and then they decide, or you're married actually, and then they decide they want to meet as a family. But because you are a foreigner, in quote, they ask you to step aside so that they can have their family meeting. Is that not humiliation? How would you look at that?
That's not right. It's not right. Because first of all, your husband ama your wife like you're part of his family ama her family. They shouldn't do that. Na kama your hubby is entertaining all that, that is another form of disrespect. Like yeye anafaa kukuja like na ile perspective ya, you know, this is my wife, this is my husband, so she's part of the family, he's part of the family, and we should include him because I come on surely. Kama mko na shida na yeye, you come to me direct. Like ndo unafeel like security.
No, like this is what I feel. Kama if they have decided to go talk those issues, like hawataki ukue, understand, because it's not everything you shouldn't be part of everything. Hii ni familia umekuja ukawapata, you don't know how they do their things. You should not be included. It's not a must for you to be included.
I disagree with you, Austin. Okay. Remember, Austin, you're a man, and you'll not be, as much as it will always be a family, but you're also striving to make your own family. So you don't have to let people determine how your family is going to be. You know, you are the man, you know the kind of family you want. So if you let people now make decisions, choose for you, you know, this is the kind of wife you want, you know, she should be doing ABCD, you'll end up people living your life for you or through you. You're not living your life because people are shaping all the decisions you make. Today she did this, so you know our wife should not do this. Who set those standards? You know, by the time you decide to, and thank God we are in Kenya where we don't have an arranged marriage kind of setup. You know, it's a love marriage thing. You know, you choose, you go, you know what you're looking for. So if you're confident or you're sure you've gotten whatever you want, you don't need someone's validation. As much as you will get, you might get their opinion, but that shouldn't make you. That shouldn't be the basis of your decisions. It's just maybe they should be just pointers for you to check out what might be wrong, but not for you to make a decision depending on what they want. Because at the end of the day, you need to have your own family.
But Godwin, I'm not saying that you should allow them to make the decisions for you. Whatever I'm saying is, you kama sahi, if we go tuseme twende na wewe Godwin kwetu, and then ifike point tunataka kuongea kama familia. Okay, acha nitumie Sonie. Twende na Sonie kwetu, and we want to talk as a family. And I tell her, hey, kindly excuse me for around some few minutes. Just go kaa hapo nje kidogo, and then tukimaliza I'll come, we talk. One, she should not get angry because family, maybe they have some things that they do not want this lady to know. Unajua si ati ni vitu mbaya, si ati wanamsengenya. There are those small things. Even you and maybe your partner wezi enda ukiziongelelea kila mahali, hata mbele ya watoto ama mbele ya nani. So I feel hapa hata kama si ati wanaenda kumsengenya nini, hata kama ni advice wanaenda kumpatia, it's now on me to decide if I'm going to take that advice. But afai kufeel vibaya ati amekuwa excluded.
I get your point, Austin, and I don't have a problem you speaking with your family, having family meeting and all that. That's okay. But what I'm against is them humiliating your spouse in front of you, and you allow it. You don't seem to care.
Let's do this, guys. I have a scenario where, especially for ladies, and most of the time when humiliation comes in family setup, we are drawing out from the public. Now let's stick in the family scenario. When it's in the family and you hear statements coming from either your brother or your sister, like, you know that word they say in our village, ulikuja hapa kujaza choo. She came here just to fill up the toilets, especially if you're not able to bear children. As a man, what would you do? Austin?
That's bad. That's okay, that's bad. Okay, ni funny, but neza cheka, but neza kupiga mtu ngumi. One, cause si fiti benya, especially if my wife is not able to bear children. Man, hiyo neza kasirika. Hiyo hata akwe brathangu, ikwe masangu, ikwe budangu, hiyo nitawaambia, by the way, hapo hujasema fiti. Cause these are human being, and people do not choose to be whatever they. Hakuna msee aliamka tu siku moja akasema, by the way, mimi nataka kuwa dark skin, nataka kuwa handsome kama Austin, you know, okay. Hakuna mtu uchagua kukua venye yako, unaona? So kitu kama hiyo naweza kasirika sana. you know, hata Chris Rock ni understatement. Wait, naweza fanya kitu kingine
Sonie, you are there, they tell you, Sonie, you are not having children, you are such a useless woman, I don't know even what your brother saw in us, and your husband is there now starting to imagine, maybe they are right. Mbona niko na hii nugu? What would be your expectation? What would you be expecting at that moment? And if they did not do that, would you give them that look like Jada did?
Of course, nitaangalia hivyo, like what right do they have? Mimi sijakuja kukua your products of kupata watoto inaitangwa aje?
Baby factory.
That one. Sijakuja kukua baby factory life. I'm just meaning your daughter, your husband, no, your son amenipata tukapendana, sisi ndo tunajua mahali tumetoka, what we have gone through and everything. You don't have any right to tell me that. But if my husband pia anaanza kujiuliza maswali hivyo, pia unafaa question, huyu ni nani niliolewa na nani huyu? Because me I believe kama love conquers everything, hata ukose kupata huyo mtoi, if that guy loves you, you'll find ways, you'll go do hizo scientific methods zote mtajaribu, ama ni surrogate mother you will try, but kama ameanza kukua side na hawa watu anakudisrespect pia.
What do you mean by side? What if hataongea? So unataka mtu amke aende apige budake ngumi kama ni babake amesema?
You see, Austin, by the time people are asking such questions, you stay with your partner, you know. Probably you know the reason why you don't have kids. It's either by choice, either there's a complication, you know, there are many things that are involved. And you see, there are people who need kids, but it's not possible. It's not their choice. It's not like I may choose, like I don't have kids. Although you can still choose. None should make a decision for you, because you can first choose not to have kids because you know your financial status. Because you see, you'll bring those kids here. The same people are giving you pressure to bring those kids forth. But the same people will be laughing at you. You brought kids here, not knowing what they're going to eat. You know, so by the time you're reaching to that point, it's a not unless you don't communicate with your spouse. But if you understand the reason they're going to, whatever they're going through, it's your mandate as a guy. Go talk to your parents or relatives. Tell them, you know what, this is none of your business. It's a decision we've made, and when we are ready, we'll do it. Or if we are not, still it doesn't concern you.
Yeah,
but
because what business do they have? What business do they have you having children or not having children? What is their concern?
Like your issue, it's very sensitive, by the way. We should normalize not talking about that. Your issue inasumbuanga watu wengine sana huku nje. When you ask tutapata mtoto lini? Hey, it is very sensitive. Kwanza kwa the guys that know that wako na complications or something. Inaweza kuwa hata ni the guy himself ama the lady. But society watadhani, dem ndio akuzali. Na wajui labda wewe ndio uko na shida. Wewe dem.
And that's the point. There's some parents who don't know, even their kids, like, I mean, the sons have a problem. But the blame always goes to the
lady.
And we've seen scenarios where couples had issues having children, and then they divorce. The lady moves on and ends up having a kid.
So
go ahead.
Nilikuwa nauliza, unajua Sonie kuna kitu alisema, Eli alikuwa ameuliza, what is it they expect the man to do, and if they do not do that, wata roll macho kama Jeda na wajam, unaona? So nauliza Sonie kama anataka mtu aende apige babake ngumi.
No, don't do that. There are other ways to solve such. Like unaweza waambia kando, unaweza waita kando, tell them that is none of your business, and I feel disrespected. You've disrespected me and my family, because that's my family. You and her, you're a family without even the kids. Family ni pia wawili pia. You and
na wewe unaweza nitetea hivyo. In case twende kwenyu, waanze kunitusi, yes, tukatai the guy is handsome but he doesn't have money. Unaweza nitetea?
You know, it's interesting because let's make the curve a little bit longer. Most of the time, when a guy has financial issues and the woman's family is involved in this relationship, they will always look and say, your man is a useless man. He cannot afford you. What kind of life did you choose? To be honest, how often will ladies take defense and cover their men?
They do not. Na wasitudanganye. Unaona hadi Sonie ameanza kuangalia juu anaanza. They do not. Na mimi nimekasirika sana wewe. They do not. Na in fact watacheka, na in fact hata wazazi wao wanaweza wasaidia kutafuta mtu mwingine mwenye ako na pesa. It's so annoying, yani kuona you're judging me from my pocket. Yani okay, ni sawa. I agree, niko na hiyo pesa kidogo, but hey, kwa nini?
Love conquers. Kama udema anakupenda,
na kwa nini basi asinitetee? Kwa nini asinitetee?
Atakutetea kama anakupenda, atakutetea. There are some people unasikianga stories za a very rich daughter from a very rich family ameolewa na mtu ana kitu.
Hizo ni movie. Give me an example.
I know of a friend of mine. She lives in Runda and the guy she's dating ni wa Kayole huko na anafurahingi kupelekwa huko kwa machuo anafurahingia
nini anaendaga Kayole. You also have to look at that.
Wait,
like
she's excited like sijui kama anaona it's a very different way of living, but she doesn't judge. Point is, if you love the person, if you guys love each other, love will conquer no matter the situation. Msidanganywe.
Ladies,
watu hawakupendi Austin.
Ladies, if you are in Runda and if you are in that place and you are watching me and you have a lot of money, kindly, I'm here, you know, it's your guy Muigai. Let's make a history, yeah. Acha kitu ikuwe real. Wasi wako wanasema by the Austin na endo anadema akona pesa. Amen.
They are like this story, like unajua Chile. You guys know Chile.
Austin, not just because Austin, it's not because just someone a lady lives in Runa and they have money, they'll come for you. They also have to see your effort. Not just you don't just sit because they're coming with money, so you'll be lazy around. Watakuacha na
kwa nini mnapeana conditions? Mnasema tena it can happen, tena mkiniambia inaweza happen, mnaniambia another thing.
You can just sit there like a potato waiting for manna from Runda.
Guys, before we forget, we just want to find out who will actually catch the greenhead. Let's give ourselves another simple example.
Yeah.
Your brother or your sister comes bad-mouthing your spouse. Do you jump in the bad wagon and support them and say, by the way, my wife is very useless or very lazy? Or do you stand and say, mamba bibi yangu niwachie?
Mimi nadhani like okay, unaweza kuwa your wife akona kashida, okay, labda ni
angalia boyfriend na wewe pia, you are not a man.
Okay, sawa. Maybe your boyfriend actually is lazy and they have projects, but at the end of the day, this is your guy. You mnaenda unamtetea in private, like you don't just jump and start saying yes, by the way anakuanga mlazy or nini. You tell them mind your own business, and then unakuja pia huku kwa your boyfriend unamwambia by the babe yenyewe you have to like try and step up, you have to try and do something, but you
are you sure you can do that?
Yeah, you don't just jump in. You feel, kama ni unaweza feel aje when you feel disrespected.
Mimi first of all acha niseme bro yangu akikuja ama nini akikuja tuanze kuongelelea venye bibi yangu ni mzembe nini, tuta joke about it 1 minute, kidogo tu, ile kidogo ya kuguzilia, alafu ndio nimwambie by the way na hizo stories zisitoke hapa. Hizo story tuachie hapa.
You know Austin, it's true what you've said, and that's if you go back to Will Smith clip, and I'm not trying to page the story on him, because you guys have to remember one thing. This guy has been humiliated before because of the wife and the entanglement issue, but he stood by the wife. That's a true man, by the way. This the second time the wife getting humiliated in public, and he decided he will lose his respect. Lakini he will teach this man to keep his mouth to himself.
Yeah.
Did you know that when a man or a woman comes to you and insults your spouse with you, and you decide to join in that conversation and actually agree to it, what they are simply doing, they are not insulting your spouse. They are
They
insulting
insult
you.
you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You see,
Lakini pia
by the time, Austin, you allow someone to joke about your spouse or insult them in front of you, it means even in the first place you don't know why you're in that relationship, or you're there for all wrong reasons. You understand? Because that the moment you allow, that's how they're going to treat her. You know,
but it's never okay.
They're joking about her with you, but now it will reflect how they're going to treat her. There's
Me
going to be
neza,
any
okay.
respect.
Unajua Godwin, what I think people should do, you should tolerate the conversation a little bit, usikize ndio uweze kumsoma pia, ndio uweze kujua how does this guy view my spouse. Na nikijua hivyo, maybe I can get to know, because msi akikuja tu aniambie bedhe bibi yako anakuanga mzembe, na nikatize conversation hapo, sitaweza kujua kwa nini anasema ni mzembe, unaona? But akiniambia na anakuanga mzembe, yani anashinda kwa na nisikize kidogo, nisikize, na ikifika the 5th minute after kujua maybe Kenya anataka kusema, and then nikatize hapo conversation. Sasa nimwambie, by the way, nimesikia, asante kwa your opinion, but please leave my wife out of your mouth. Nimesikia, asante sana, na tucheke kidogo, and then I believe that's the right way to. Because people talk, hata wakose kuongea na wewe.
Understand what you're saying, Justin. And you see, there's a point you've brought in. There's one point about listening, and another one joining them in ridiculing your wife. You know, there's one point listening.
But you know, lazima wajoin kidogo, you get to the roots.
Hapana.
Lazima wajoin kidogo, you get to the roots of the problem.
Let me take this comment, guys. G Safari says, and thank you so much for joining the conversation. I'd listen to my brother or sister. Family is one of the real things that I believe in, and I'll listen to something constructive from them. But I want you to understand there's a word constructive in this statement. So it doesn't disqualify why you would listen to family. But if family is going to ridicule your spouse, and when we talk about spouse, you talk both about the man or the woman, just because probably they have some inadequacy, where do we draw the line?
I guess, Ellie.
Yes.
Ellie. It's not. I guess it's not what they say; it's how they say it. Unaona, msi anaweza kuja niambie, na by the way, Austin, guys, demu yako anakuanga mzembe. Hiyo tunaweza cheka, ndio hata niseme si mzembe hivyo, unajua saa zingine ni makucha nini, tunacheka, unaona. But ile kuna ile anakuja anasema, boy, na demu Austin anakuanga mzembe. Sasa hiyo it's unaona, wamesema same thing, but how it's said, it's different, unaona. So it's all about how it's being said. Unaweza join in the conversation, niweze pia kujua, because if they do not, if kama mtu amekuja na akakwambia.
Okay, I think we lost Austin for a moment there. Godwin, what if what they are saying is actually true? For example, Godi, I've just met your fiancée, and she was moving around with this man, and they were looking as though they were having entanglements. Will you rub them off?
I will not rub them off, but again, I will not react out of what you told me. Now that's where I have to do my investigation. You know, get information, because I believe if you want to get information, and you'll always know someone who is suspicious. You get, because when even by just a mention of it, someone will be so defensive, you know, asking, now you don't trust me, you know. But there's someone, if they're sure they've not done whatever they say, they'll be so calm and they're like, oh, so you know, it's easy to tell someone mwenye yako guilty na mwenye yako guilty. So you just use the information, not to make a decision like, nilisikia kuna wanaume so tumeachana. Alafu kwa ilikuwa uongo, just try to find. There are always ways in which you can solve your issues, to inquire to know whether it was right or wrong. Unaona? And that's why communication is very key in a relationship.
Okay, guys, Sonie, I think we're having problems connecting to your end, but I hope we can be able to finish these conversations. What would be the greatest plus or minus? Is it the information or how you respond to it as an individual?
I think how you respond. Okay, the information, you have to find the root cause, like the facts and everything. But how you respond to it also matters, because you don't just jump into something. You have to find evidence, facts, and everything. Just don't jump into something. When you in nani, you have to find out, is this really true or It's actually how you respond to it that matters.
But what I think actually, you should always be a person who wants to hear more and talk less at the end of the day. So hata wase wakikuongelelea nini, hata wase waongelelea spouse wako nini, waseme nini, do not let these things get into your head or anything. Kuwa na point yenye utakuwa unaziblock, yes, unazisikia, do whatever you can do to change the situation if it's true, but also do not dismiss them. Unajua, cause at the end of the day they might be talking, they might be trying to help and telling you the truth, the harsh truth. Unajua kuna ile ukweli yenye wewe inawasha masikio, so try to just give them maybe 2-3 minutes. Do not give them a lot of time. Do not let them get into your head. Just give them a few minutes. Change whatever you can. If it's beyond you, if it's nothing, it's kama ni Mungu, kama ni kitu Mungu alikuwa amepanga, if it's beyond your nini, una ignore tu, unaacha tu. Love wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, but bottom line, don't accept your spouse or your partner quite disrespected to you in public. Sikubali. Okay, you can find ways of doing it politely. You don't have to act rogue or something, but unaweza itamse kano mwambi mwele, yes, I listen, and this and this and this and this is venye kuko, and yeah, you don't have to wende tu hapo ki Will Smith. No, you just have to find a way of like acting like a mature adult.
Yeah,
you can communicate na usikike, na hata wewe mwenye amesema vibaya unamwambia no, next time approach me like this nitakusikiza. Yeah, venye unani approach sijapenda, you get. Yeah.
Fact is, ladies and gentlemen, lady and gentlemen, fact is, when we concentrate on the bad that people do, we miss out on the goodness that is happening. We will point fingers, we will say she's ugly, he's broke, and we don't realize he's the kindest man they can ever meet on planet Earth. But again, that's exactly what they did at the Oscars. Most of you will only remember what Will Smith did with Chris Rock. Oh, it's Will Smith, nimesahau. But all of you did not get to experience this.
My great honor and pleasure to present my friend Samuel L. Jackson.
Thanks to every person that's ever bought a ticket to any movie I was in.
I'm proud to be a part of this space and place, and thank you.
Those two gentlemen won their first ever Oscars, especially Samuel L. Jackson, with all the movies he's done, clearly. Let's not always concentrate on the bad energy and miss out on the good. Your closing remarks.
All the best.
Godwin, umesema God's timing, all the best.
Nasema God's timing is always the best, so it doesn't matter how long you'll wait.
Awesome.
Does not matter how much time you take, actually.
Austin,
you
closing
want
remarks?
me to...
Yeah, tufunge bana, show imeisha.
What I would love to tell people is that people will always talk. People will always have an opinion about you, about how you should be living your life or what you should be doing with your life. But one thing you should know that this life is personal. Whatever journey someone else took does not mean you have to take the same journey that Kenya wanafanya, Kenya walifanya, Kenya way inafanyika. Because it's your life, it's your journey, and you can make history. Maybe wewe unaweza kuwa the first person who mwenye make the first million when alikuwa 1 year, you know. So usisikize wase, hata wase wa kuinsult aje, hata wase wa watukane spouse wako. Don't let those things get into your head. You know what you're going for, and do not stop because people are talking, because people will always talk.
Yes, me, one statement only. You can never make everyone happy.
Yeah.
You can never make everyone happy. Just do you. People will always have an opinion. That's what all I have to say.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming on set tonight. The perspective has been very prolonged tonight, and we appreciate your time to be part of it. Princess Ola, thank you so much for joining us in the comment section. Wewe unakuaga huko na huko. We have Idel Kweyu Music. Thank you so much, Mama, for being here. Njekita, with your wisdom, it is simple. Don't talk badly, even more disrespect my spouse in my presence. If a talk is constructive, lack of respect won't take place. I'd listen to my brother or sister that was earlier on said by one and only G Safari. Thank you so much. We have Joan Kulabi. We want to officially taking over from Princess Ola as the new comment prefect. Rina Ri, yali amua tu kucheka. Thank you so much, Rina, for being there. Isaiah Mbata, thank you so much for coming on set tonight and having these conversations with us. And of course, everybody that joined us on Facebook, YouTube, and without forgetting on our Twitter page. I have Jerry Rafiki. Well done, sir. Thank you so much for coming here. Wewe ni Rafiki wa power sana. I protect my wife religiously from my family. Lakini physical confrontation is childish. Will Smith is weak. Those weak statements. Mara mingi zinatoka Miley Austin yuko. You are weak. Asante sana, asante sana. Maze, I can't mention all of you, but Gregory Enyata, asante sana. I see you, my brother. Who else is here? Ninasoma watu wenye sijasoma for long. Who else? Jerry Rafiki, definitely I mentioned you. Lamont, my guy. I definitely know that is Muigai. Okay, asante sana, asante sana. And each and everyone that made sure that we actually had this conversation, including Paul M. Senior, Lawrence Mwiti Waweru, and tukimalizia nani amefunga hapa ni Princess Ola amefunga na statement ya mwisho amesema, I have been replaced. Definitely Joanna has taken over. Until next week, see you as we bring you worship night with Pastor KT next Friday right here on TheArtsinHeart, and other stories as they evolve on Tuesday and Thursday. We are out and good night. Si tumemaliza wase.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Tuende chukue Oscar zetu bana. Tuende.
I'm ready.
Nimeenda, bye.